Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And it has been quite a while since I have done a video on YouTube, guys. I hope you bear with me. I haven't been too well of late, and also, yeah, been incredibly busy. It's that sort of holiday period, and yeah, it's just incredibly busy, incredibly hectic at the moment. So I hope you bear with me, but hopefully around about December time, I should be back with more regular, if not daily, uploads. Fingers crossed, hopefully. But I thought since the Game Award nominees have been announced today, I thought I'd give you my opinion on the nominees and, who I think out of the selected guys should win, and who I thought could be on the list who maybe wasn't. So, yeah, this is all my opinion, guys. I'd love to see yours. So let me know in the comment section down below. What's your thoughts, guys, on each one of these? Do you agree with me? Disagree? Yeah, let me know down below. But let's just get straight into it with the main event, I guess you could argue, and that is Game of the Year. And for Game of the Year, the nominees are Doom, Inside, Overwatch, Titanfall 2, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now, I've seen a lot of Overwatch gameplay. Looks real fun. I need to pick it up. I'm not gonna lie. Doom, the same. Inside, I've heard some good stuff about, but really the only one I have personally played is Uncharted 4: Thief's End. So it's a pretty it's a pretty self-explanatory pick for myself. It's got to be Uncharted 4: Thief's End for Game of the Year. To be honest with you guys, so far at this point, from what I've personally played, it is leaps and bounds above everything that I've played this generation, let alone this year. So absolutely, that's my Game of the Year. Very surprised Dark Souls 3 isn't on there. I love Dark Souls 3, amazing game. Also surprised Ratchet and Clank's not on there, but it is what it is. I think that's a pretty decent list. And it'll be interesting to see as well, quickly, if Overwatch was to win, um, Game of the Year, would that be the first ever game, multiplayer only, to win Game of the Year? Let me know down below. I'm probably wrong, but let me know down below. But next up, when this will load, here we go. Best Studio slash Game Direction. And this is recognizing a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Now, that's a lot of words. So basically, we're going to say, what is my favorite developer of 2016? So there's Blizzard for Overwatch, DICE for Battlefield 1, id Software for Doom, and Naughty Dog for Uncharted 4, and Respawn for Titanfall 2. Well, simply because it's my Game of the Year, my favourite game this gen, it simply has to be Naughty Dog. They're the best in the business. Arguably Rockstar, but at the same time, I still think Naughty Dog are superb. So, yeah, that's my pick. Let me know yours down below. Best Narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Firewatch, I don't think should be on this list. In my opinion, shouldn't be on this list. I didn't like Firewatch. It was a cool game. It wasn't anything to sing home about. Inside, again, never played it. Watched some gameplay of it. Looks good. Looks really fun. And looks definitely an emotional story. But I didn't really like, was it Limbo? I didn't really like that. So I've heard it's pretty much the same game. So we'll have to see. Mafia 3, terrible gameplay, but amazing storytelling. So that's really good. Oxenfree, I've never played, and Uncharted 4. For me, it's between Mafia 3 and Uncharted, and simply because the gameplay in Mafia is so stale and boring, I have to give it to Uncharted 4. For me personally, it has to go to Uncharted 4, because again, the game, the the story is fantastic in Mafia, but it's just so padded with like not very good stuff that it kind of made it not as good for me personally. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think should have won best story for 2016? Next up is best art direction. And this is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in artistic design and animation. Now that's a long title, but we have Abzu, Firewatch, Inside, Overwatch, and Uncharted 4: Thief's End. Um, Now, this is bad at this point because for me, it's probably just thinking, oh, what a Naughty Dog fanboy or whatever. But honestly, I don't know many better looking games this gen. I think there's a case to be put forward for Ratchet and Clank, which I'm surprised is not on this list. Um, but apart from that, I don't really know many better looking games than Uncharted 4 this generation, apart from maybe Battlefront and maybe Battlefield 1. But at that point, neither of those games are on this list, so it has to go to Uncharted 4 in my humble, probably wrong. I'm probably going to get all these nominees wrong, but my opinion. Next up, best music / sound design, and this is for outstanding audio, inclusive of score, original song, licensed soundtrack, and sound design. And the nominees are Battlefield 1, Doom, Inside, Res Infinite, and Thumper. Be honest with you guys, I don't really know. For me personally, I'd say probably Battlefield 1, but I don't really know that much about music. I don't really listen to a ton of music, so I don't really know, to be honest with you guys. But let's get on to I think a more thing I can talk about, and that is best performance. Award to an individual for voice, overacting, motion, and or performance capture, whatever that means. Alex Hernandez as Lincoln Clay, Mafia 3. Cissy Jones as Delilah, Firewatch. Emily Rose as Elena, Uncharted 4: Thief's End. Nolan North as Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4: Thief's End. Rich Summer as Henry, Firewatch. Troy Baker as Sam in Uncharted 4. Now I know what you're thinking. Of course I'm going to go for an Uncharted character. Well, sadly this time you would actually be wrong. I'm going to be giving my voice actor award, or my nomination for the voice actor award, to Alex Hernandez of Lincoln Clay from Mafia 3. Now I didn't know that was his name before, but yeah, to be honest, like I said many a time, I feel that Mafia 3 was a little bit of a letdown. I thought it was going to be like the next big, like almost Rockstar-esque game. Didn't quite live up to that. The open world wasn't that good. But on a story standpoint, this game holds up against any game released in the last couple of years. I think it has a fantastic story. And I think Lincoln Clay is kind of the whole thing is he's a fantastic actor in my opinion, and he makes a really bang average game to a pretty decent story at least game. So that's my pick, even though apart from him I think Nolan North has got to be given a shout out nonetheless. Now I'm going to skip the next one because I have no idea what. I did a quick read through these games before. If you see me on Twitter, I have voted for some of these. But again, I don't know any of these games. So I'm just going to go on to Best Independent Game for 2016. And this is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher. And the nominees are Firewatch by Campo Santo, Hyperlight Drifter, Heart Machine, Inside by Playdead, Stardew Valley by Concerned Ape / Chucklefish Games, never heard of them, The Witness by Teleka Incorporated, I have no idea. Like, I've never heard of any of these guys. I have heard of their games, but just not of the developers. But for me, it has to be The Witness. It's the only one I've played out of those games, and I was prepared to skip this list, but genuinely, The Witness is a very, very good game. Um, it's actually on Xbox One now, and if you haven't played it, make sure you do. It's a puzzle game. It's difficult, but it's definitely rewarding, and it's definitely goddamn like beautiful. So yeah, definitely pick that up if you haven't already. Next up is best mobile slash handheld game. Now, I know my pick already, like I already know, but we'll go through it. Clash Royale, Fire Emblem Fates, Monster Hunter Generations, Pokemon Go, and Severed. It's not even a question. Like, it really isn't a question. It's Pokemon Go. Like, one, it's like the biggest game released this year. Like, I know that sounds a bit over the top, but how many people played this? I haven't seen a craze for a game like that in years. It was genuinely fun. I'm not a huge, like, I know some people are like big Vita fans and big handheld fans. I'll be honest, I really am not a big handheld fan. However, I saw the fun and the the coolness behind Pokemon Go. So for me, it has to be Pokemon Go for best mobile slash handheld game for 2016. Now, the next one is best VR game, but sadly, for some reason, my phone has kind of crashed on that one, and it simply won't load in. So I had to edit that bit of the video out. Slightly embarrassing, but however, my pick. I did saw the list earlier. I picked Batman Arkham VR. I also know like Job Simulators on there, Res Infinite, but I don't know the full list. But for me personally, the best VR game released, I think, is Batman VR. I think that's a fantastic game. And I love VR, so yeah, that's definitely positive praise from me. But next up, best action game. For the best games in the action genre focused on combat. In number one, Battlefield 1, Doom, Gears of War 4, Overwatch, Titanfall 2. Those are the options. Now, I've not played a lot of any of these games, to be honest, but I have played a little bit of Doom, and that game's really fun. Like, that game's incredibly fun. It's like just badass, and I do need to pick that up. So for me, best action game has to go to Doom, just because it epitomizes everything that is action. It's just non-stop, in-your-face action, and it's just great. Best action slash adventure game, and the nominees are Dishonored 2, Hitman, Hyper Light Drifter, Ratchet and Clank, and Uncharted 4. Now, two of my favourite games this year, Ratchet and Clank and Uncharted 4, are both in a list. But for me, it has to go to Uncharted, you know, the big old Uncharted fanboy over here. But no, honestly, it's just my favourite game of the year, so it has to be my favourite action and adventure game of the year, for me personally. Next up, though, best role-playing game, and there's been some good ones this year. So the nominees are Dark Souls 3, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Blood and Wine. That's interesting. Now, I'm not too sure. I haven't been up to date with like the Game Awards. Would this be the first time a DLC's won? Let me know down below. Then it's World of Warcraft Legion, Xenoblade Chronicles X. For me, without a shadow of a doubt, should be on the Game of the Year awards, but it isn't, and that is Dark Souls 3. The game's fantastic. One of the best games this generation, let alone the best game this year. And it's just got to be up there. I love the game, and yeah, what a fantastic game it is. And yeah, Dark Souls 3, best RPG of the year. Can you argue with that? Maybe The Witcher, but it's not really a full game. But I mean the Blood and Wine bit. But let me know your thoughts down below. For me, it's got to be Dark Souls 3. Next up, best fighting game. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys, as I always am. I really don't like fighting games. So take this one with a grain of salt. But I've only played 2 of these games. Killer Instinct Season 3, I've only played the free version on Xbox and sucked it. King of Fighters 14, never played. Pokken Tournament, I have played. Street Fighter 5, I have played. So it's between Pokken Tournament and Street Fighter 5. Bear in mind, take what I say with a literal grain of salt, because I have no idea when it comes to Pokemon. I have no idea what the hell's fighting games. I have no idea what's going on. So for me, it's got to be Pokken Tournament though. Pokemon is just one of the best game genres, whatever. Not even a genre. What am I talking about? One of the best game series going. I love Pokemon, so Pokken Tournament has to win the award for me personally. Next up, best family game, and the nominees are Dragon Quest Builders, Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Now I love this game. Pokemon Go, Ratchet and Clank, and Skylanders Imaginators. Now I love these type of games. This is my type of game. Completely ignore everything I just said about fighting games, but listen to me when it comes to these family friendly sort of games. They're my favourite. Skylanders was fantastic. Pokemon Go, really fun. Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens, amazing. And even Dragon Quest Builders was really fun. But for me, it has to be Ratchet and Clank. It's one of the best games this generation. I've said that about Dark Souls and Uncharted, but genuinely, I think it is. I think it's one of the best games this gen. Definitely top 10, probably top 5, and the game's an absolute masterpiece. Considering it's a remake of a PS2 game, what a fantastic job it's done. And yeah, I'm over the moon with it. And to me, it has to win the award. If it doesn't, I'm calling up Jeff Keighley. I'm going to have to call him up and have a few words with him about that. But next up, best strategy game. Again, like the fighting games, I do not play these games, so the nominees are Civilization 6, Fire Emblem Fates, The Banner Saga 2, Total Warhammer, and XCOM 2. Now, I've played a little bit of The Banner Saga 2, I've played a little bit of XCOM 2, and for me, I'd give it to XCOM 2, but really, I don't really know that much about either of them, to be honest with you. I only played a little bit, so again, I know very little about it, so just take that with a grain of salt. Next up though, something I do know about, best sports game / racing game for 2016. And it is FIFA 17, Forza Horizon 3, MLB The Show 16, NBA 2K17, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2017. Great list of sports games. If you're a sports fan, every single one of them is fantastic, in my opinion. But simply because they added the journey and the better multiplayer, in my opinion, and just everything in general, FIFA 17 has to win the best sports game of 2017. 2016. Incredibly biased because, again, I am a huge FIFA fan, but no, I think it's one of the best games in terms of sports games released this year, without a shadow of a doubt. Next up, best multiplayer game. The nominees are Battlefield 1, Gears of War 4, Overcooked, which I was surprised to see on there, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and Titanfall 2. From what I've seen, in terms of fun factor, the little that I've played, bear in mind, very little that I've played, it has to go to Overwatch. The game's fun. I'm not a huge multiplayer only guy. I'm going to be completely honest with that. I'm very much a single player gamer. But Overwatch is definitely fun. It's not quite Star Wars Battlefront, where I can really, really enjoy only having the multiplayer. But yeah, just I think a really, really good game. Don't think it should be $60 in my opinion, or full price. But hopefully, maybe if it's on sale this year, I might pick it up. We'll see. It's too many games. Um, but next up is the Fan Choice Awards. Now, I'm not going to go through all of them because a lot of them to me are irrelevant. I don't really watch esports. I watch it a little bit, but I don't really care. Like, I know that sounds a little bit harsh, but I ain't really into the whole esports thing. So if you are, again, go on the Game Awards 2016's website. I've tweeted a ton of the stuff on Twitter. If you're coming from Twitter, you've probably already seen it. If you're on YouTube and don't follow me on Twitter, go change that. Go follow me on Twitter. My handle's in the top left, I think. But we're going to go into the first thing that I care about, and that's with YouTube, and that is Trending Gamer of the Year. And the nominees, and I'm going to be saying someone that I'm surprised is not on the list. But Angry Joe Show, hilarious. I love Angry Joe. He's goddamn hilarious. Boogie2988, absolute legend. Danny O'Dwyer, Jacksepticeye, and Lyric, I think that's his name. Again, I have no idea who he is, but I think that's his name. Very surprised before I go any further that Greg Miller is not on this list. He won Trending Gamer of the Year last year, and what I found funny was they had a little chat with him. Jeff Keighley and all that sort of stuff had a chat with him about the PS4 Pro, and he seemed very certain that he was going to win the Trending Gamer Award. And it's funny that he's not even on the list, so I don't know what happened there, but either way, that's irrelevant. I want to give you my opinion, and for me personally, I have to give it to Boogie. Boogie2988. He's one of my favourite YouTubers since really I started watching YouTube. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a fantastic guy. I really love his channel. I don't think he needs a shout out from someone with just over 100 subscribers, but no, I think he deserves to win, in my humble opinion. Next up is Best Fan Creation, but to be honest with you, not really for me. I don't really know any of them. There was a Pokemon game, actually. Hang on. Pokemon Uranium. That looks cool, but I don't really know too much about it. Also, Brutal Doom 64 looks pretty cool. But let's get on to most anticipated game for 2017. Now, I cannot wait for a lot of games. As you guys probably know, I'm always going on about games I'm hyped for on Twitter and even do YouTube videos about it. I will be doing my top 10 most excited games for 2017 in December, so I hope you guys stick around for that. I'll also be doing my Game of the Years, personal Game of the Years, very soon. But let's get into the list of most excited upcoming games that have been chosen. God of War by Sony Santa Monica definitely deserves to be on that list, if nothing else. Horizon Zero Dawn, holy crap, that game looks incredible. I bought a PS4 Pro literally because this was coming out in March, so I think that says something about how excited I am for this game. Mass Effect Andromeda, pre-ordered, cannot wait for that game. I've even got the one, not with the big car, but there's a little like mini car you get with it. I've got that pre-ordered, so that's pretty fun. Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean, Naughty Dog have never made a bad game. Rockstar have never made a bad game. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be a masterpiece. If this doesn't get a 90 plus Metacritic score, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I'll be surprised if it doesn't, because this game is going to be a masterpiece. I already know it. You just know it deep down. With Rockstar games, they're going to be fantastic. So Red Dead Redemption 2 on that list. And finally, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Um, Let me just say this. I'm going to say this. What a list that is. Like, I've got to say that. Incredible list, you know. I'm a huge PlayStation fan, so to see people excited for God of War and Horizon and, you know, all these sort of games is great in itself. Mass Effect, I can't wait for. Um, you know, Red Dead, I can't wait for. But I've got to say, as a Wii U owner at the moment, I'm a little bit on the fence with the Switch, depending on its launch lineup. But as a Wii U owner, that doesn't matter because I've got access to the game, whatever. Um, Zelda Breath of the Wild looks goddamn phenomenal, and I cannot wait for that game. But there has to be one winner, and for me personally, it has to be Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to put a quick disclaimer out there. Whenever a Naughty Dog game is announced, whenever a Rockstar game announced, that will be my most anticipated game for the next upcoming year. Uh, it has to be, you know what I mean? It just simply has to be. Um, but that's just my opinion, guys. So let me know your opinion down below. Do you agree, disagree? Am I wrong? Was there anything you wanted me to talk about in terms of like esports or any sort of that sort of stuff? Let me know down below. But as always, guys, this has been Eminem Gaming. I know I haven't been too active on here. Hopefully that will change. I hope you guys stick around, and if you do like this video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.